don't know where you are in your small business, but if you are at all thinking about having an event of any kind, you need to listen to this interview. Whether you're just looking for simple events that you're hosting in your own office or location, or if you're looking to have a massive event or conference where you bring in both customers or prospects from all over the country or throughout the world. Today, we have Luis Hernandez, who is the owner of EMP, otherwise known as Elite Music Productions and Marketing and Promotions. EMP is a multifaceted organization that has been created to make a positive impact in the community through live music events and business marketing. So we're so excited to have him because today, as we talk about small business event planning, Luis is our go-to guy, and we are so thrilled that he's going to be sharing with us how to put events together for your business.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michelle. What a wonderful introduction. And I got to tell you, this entire summit has been amazing. Lots of great content, lots of great information. And if you're a small business owner, regardless of where you're at, this is the meat and potatoes of what is going to carry you through 2020, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, events. I mean,
yes, I want to talk about this because I know that experience marketing is really big, and I think we kind of have seen the pendulum shift a little bit over the last decade where events were a really big deal and then they kind of tapered out, but now I'm seeing them come back in a huge way. And so I'd love for you to share why business owners should be considering events and how they could quickly get started in making them work for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we talk about a lot about marketing, branding, and promoting your business, right? And one of the best ways to do that is to be visible. And what greater way than to produce or be part of an event that is well attended, right? And so we come from that premise there of how do we engage, how do we connect the local business community to events that are here in the community, or how do we have these small business owners or entrepreneurs create their own events, right? And I think that Amy has done a fantastic job really laying out, the platform for us to be able to do that here today. But let's talk about, and then we'll take it way back, right? To, really, anytime that you're looking at getting involved in events, you really have to ask yourself the most important question, right? What am I trying to get out of this? What is it that I want out of this, right? Or maybe the idea of start with the end in mind. We all love that term, don't we? Start with the end in mind. And so for a brand new business, it may be, hey, I really want to get the word out that I am now operational. My doors are open and I need customers to come to my business. And so for something like that, we'll take a look at, traditional ribbon cutting or maybe a grand opening ceremony, open house type of situation. And so with that, it's one of the most simplest events you can host on your own. Now, keep in mind, this is going to work a little bit better for somebody who has a physical location. Now, if you are virtual, or if you, telecommute, in your business, then you may want to partner up with another, brick and mortar business in your community, right? Or you can do a virtual event just like we're doing here today, right? But simply put, with a grand opening, ribbon cutting ceremony celebration, this is a great way for you to really, move the needle in terms of getting recognition for your business. And there's really a couple of key things that you really want to focus on. I would say, a couple of tips here is always plan 6 weeks out, right? Never do anything in a week.
Yes, yes.
I know we get excited. We're excited. Yes, our doors may be open right now, but we want to give ourselves plenty enough time for some really key things. One of them is we want to make sure that we select the right date and the right time. Right, the actual day of the week is important depending on who you want to attend your event. Right, and this again is, are we marketing to a business to consumer side, or are we doing more of a B2B event, right? And so those, you have to look at those. And if you're marketing to consumers and you want consumers to come, anytime after hours is great. Weekends, not so much so, because families are hanging out with their families, right? people are hanging out with their families. But if it's the business to business market, then I would suggest, doing something during the day, preferably a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, either between 10 a.m. and noon or 2 p.m. and 4 p.m., which gives them time to get to their place of business, get some work done. Then they can come out to your event, or if they need to, they can end their day with you at your event, right? And so those are some of the ideas that you want to go into this with. The guest list is the important thing, right? You want to make sure that you are inviting the right people to your event, right? If it's a grand opening and a ribbon cutting ceremony, you definitely want to do your best at inviting elected officials, maybe the mayor, if you can get the mayor to your event, right? But there are plenty of other elected officials, right? Your city councilors, your county commissioners, people that worked, specifically within your ward, and excuse me, and plenty of other, city officials that would be honored to attend your event, right? This brings a, excuse me, getting choked up here. This brings a unique element to your event where you're actually having some prominent folks attend and recognize you for opening your business. Give me a second.
No problem. I would just second that. And I think that sometimes we forget that there is local benefits. And even though I didn't have a brick and mortar, I found a place where I could have a ribbon cutting with people from the Chamber of Commerce and some other people from the community for the pictures, for the connections, and just to add some energy into the business.
Absolutely, yes. Those things are all important, and you hit another great topic. Is your local business organizations in your community, right? I always suggest start with the Chamber of Commerce because this is exactly what they do. They thrive on getting out and showcasing the businesses within the community, and they have done probably 1.2 million ribbon cuttings in the last year.
Right.
And so they've got it down. And so, yeah, those are folks you definitely want to have as part of your guest list there. The other one that people often miss is really engaging with the businesses that are in close proximity to their business, right? Other business owners. And it's a simple, we strongly suggest that you get out in person and you do a little door knocking. It's a great way for you to introduce yourself to your neighbors, but to simply invite them and have them invite their network of folks as well to come out and celebrate with you, right? It's a great way
idea
for them to introduce you as their new neighbor in the business community. And
especially if there are ways that you can joint do it. I had a client who kind of went to a downtown walkable neighborhood, and she was just kind of getting started and didn't know what to do, but the boutique next door was really, really thriving. And so she reached out to them and found out that they were having an event, an after hours event, and partnered up with them in some ways. But then other times when they do it, she just opens her doors and has extended hours and kind of piggybacks off of that. And she promotes for them and they promote for her. And having that connection with that business has not only been financially beneficial, but has been good for her to have that relationship with another business owner as well.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And I got to tell you, that should be part of your strategy in your business. First and foremost is how you network yourself, right? And I would say call it more of a strategic networking, right? But coming from the music industry and working with artists, one of the key concepts that we teach them is to own your own backyard before you want to own the nation.
Yes.
What we mean by that is grow your fans in your own neighborhood, and the same thing applies for businesses. Is your supporters are going to be your neighbors. Your supporters are going to be those people that are going to frequent your place of business or are going to buy your products and services, right? And so if we are strategic about building those solid relationships with them, then they in turn will be our greatest cheerleaders for whatever we do in the future, right? This so happens to be an event that we're focusing on, right? And so we're going to turn these people into promoters for us, right? and
Yes.
have them tap into their circles of influence, right? Which is kind of the next topic is once you've got that date selected, solidified, the time and all that good stuff, we want to make sure that we get this event up on different calendars, right? There are several community calendars. Facebook is a great place to host an event. There are several other event platforms that enable you to set up landing pages within the event. You get your own direct link to the event that you can share on social media channels and all kinds of great things. One of the most effective things that I've found for businesses is if they actually recruit what I call as a social media team, if you will, or maybe engage with other businesses that they're working with, right? And the idea is that those businesses, would go on and share their information for them to their circles, right? Again, we're really using that compound effect, if you will. I take my small group of folks and I have them share it out, and they share it out with their small group of folks, and now my reach has gone from 1,000 to 15,000 because of the network that I have with folks, right? And so I know we're digging in a little bit deep on this one here, but
That's okay.
that really drives right into the marketing end of it, which is exactly what the visibility summit is really about. Is how do you market your business, right? This is just one of the tools, one of the arrows in your quiver there, in terms of really getting some recognition for your brand, getting to that point where your brand is recognizable within the people on a national level, right? Is because of that buzz that you created. Now, it doesn't stop because the event stopped, right? There's the pre-promotion, there's the during the event, then there's the post-promotion, right? So during the event, if you have somebody in your community, or if you yourself know how to use Facebook Live from your cell phone, you can certainly broadcast your event to the masses. And of course, you can get involved with other technologies that might help you to broadcast to multiple platforms at the same time. But it's great for those folks that aren't able to attend. Most importantly, that content lives on Facebook, and it is recirculated an enormous amount of times, and people will be able to view this in 2 weeks from now. Well, they're laying in their bed getting ready to go to sleep, and they say, "Oh my God, there's a new business, and look what they're doing, and look at this event they had." And so you can let that live on, and then of course photography is key. If you are a photographer, or if you want to hire a photographer, great. If not, technology nowadays puts that photography right in our hands. Get your device and snap a lot of pictures, and then continually post those pictures for the next 6 weeks after the event, and talk about how great the event was, and who attended the event, and what you showcased at the event, and if you had a new product at the event, or anything about the event, and let this live on so that it can continue to drive traffic either back to your website, to your social media pages. But really, the idea here is that you're getting eyeballs on your business.
Yes. And I think that you nailed it in the sense that event marketing is not just about the event. It's the things that you announce before. It's the things that you do during, and it's the things that you do after that can make that can have a long tail effect rather than just a limited, hey, we did this for 2 hours. And so I love that advice and interest. Before our time closes, is there any one final bit or nugget that you'd love to share with our audience?
Absolutely. This comes up a lot, especially with small business owners. They feel like if they are posting, information on social media, that they do not want to bother people with the invite. And I say it's the exact opposite. This is really an opportunity for you to really get out to the masses and really get as many people as you can invited to your event. And the idea behind this really comes from a branding standpoint. While you're sending out 15,000 invitations, you may only get a small percentage of that, maybe 0.5% or 1% of those folks, right? But the idea really is that you're branding your business to these folks. right? They are seeing your business name. They are seeing you open for business, and that is really the idea that the mindset that you want to get into as you begin to promote your event. There is that I'm doing this to brand my business, so I'm going to share it with the masses.
Right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I do not have an offer of anything. This is going to prompt me to maybe put together, a couple of one-sheeters that I might be able to share with some folks on how to get their events going here, right? I do have a brand new business that we're launching here in the Albuquerque market. It's called Go ABQ. It's a community market, and basically it helps the small businesses enter into digital marketing. And it uses the event side of things and really helps those businesses from that standpoint. And so I'll share information on that. If there are folks that are here in the New Mexico business market, certainly we'll turn you on to that. Now, if you're outside of the New Mexico market, stay tuned, because this is a product that if we do well with it here in the Albuquerque market, we're certainly going to work to bring this to other markets around the United States.
Awesome. And even if you're not in the area, I think it's a great idea to go and see what they're doing to capitalize on the local market, because you can probably learn what they're doing. I just dropped Go ABQ in the chat, but
Yes.
Feel free to go and look and search and figure out how you can leverage that in your own business.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for being with us today, Luis. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you being part of our Visibility Summit.